1,
You
2.
happy now?
Happy.
Fine.
Happy.
Fine. Go ahead. Padded Room Radio is back on the air, you motherfuckers! My name is Darian. I have returned for another week of horror bullshit. I got the whole Compton posse in the house tonight. My main man, Buddy, is here.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, Big Buddy?
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Oh,
yeah.
man.
So, went on my first Harley road trip last night with the chapter.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you're here today.
Yeah, well,
So you couldn't have been too bad.
Well, I went in my car.
Oh,
I was just going to say,
fucking ass.
on your bike?
That doesn't count.
No, my bike went in the shop Thursday right before the ride.
You're serious? You
Yeah.
literally took your car on the
Yep.
Harley road
So I was in the back behind everybody and brought the waters and stuff. And what shit timing that was, I tell you.
You were the chaperone on the Harley road?
Yeah.
Wow. Did you bring snack bags for everybody?
I was a sweeper's sweeper.
I don't even know what that means.
Sweeper's like in the back of the pack that keeps it on everybody and makes sure
Yeah.
they're doing what they're supposed to. So
Okay.
you got a road captain in front, a sweeper in the back. Well, I was behind the sweeper.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were like the road mom.
Yeah, right. Dude, that totally sucked. But I mean, it was a great trip. We all had a good time.
I think I would bow out if I was...
I already paid for the hotel. It was overnighter.
Get fucked, man.
Nothing screams hardcore like a Subaru.
I know. That's what I'm
I
saying.
know, right?
Speaking of which, special guest in studio, Chuck is in the house.
Hello.
What's going
Hey,
on,
man.
Chuck? Chuck, it's been a minute since you've graced us with your presence.
It has been.
Like, by a minute, I mean 6 to 8 years, probably.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, man. What's going on, dude?
You know, same old.
Same old, he says.
Oh, yeah.
Same old.
Nothing new over here.
Chuck was, you inmates, you may remember Chuck, he starred in the Padded Room production.
Certainly did.
The low-income, zero-budget masterpiece that was the Padded Room movie. And that's pretty much the last we heard from Chuck. Until tonight, goddammit, he's back, and he's raring to go.
That's right.
Right on, dudes. Chuck, what's up with you, man? Anything fun? Anything cool happening?
No, nothing new.
No.
Started a new job.
Oh, very cool.
You know,
What are you doing with yourself these days?
Just hanging out with this guy.
Oh God, you're working with Buddy?
Yeah.
In the Ferntucky
Yeah.
warehouse of Doom.
A little bit.
Okay, hold on now. Wait a minute. Now, have you been paid for your time?
Not yet, actually.
Okay, that's okay. That's a running problem with these people.
I've heard.
Yes. So we got to keep an eye on that because apparently you'll just show up for a couple weeks and whoops,
Yeah, for me, it was a month and a half.
month and a half. Buddy says.
I mean, right now for me, it's pretty much all the same.
All right, you douchebags. We got horror news, listener mail. We are going to be closing out Possession Month tonight.
Yeah.
Padded Room, and we are moving on to bigger and better things. I say we do as we always do and kick things off with a little horror news, motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah.
Let's hear it.
Horror news.
What you got, buddy?
All right, Six Flags Fright Fest. This year's Six Flags Fright Fest will feature a handful of brand new attractions based on beloved horror properties included Saw, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Trick or Treat, as well as The Conjuring, Stranger Things, and Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. To whet your appetite, there's a sneak peek if you look on Bloody Disgusting.
I'm into it, man.
Yeah.
I dig the horror attractions.
Hell yeah.
Have you ever been to one of these big theme park
No,
fucking things?
always wanted to.
I went to the Universal Studios Horror Nights 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. Dude, the attention to detail in these fucking things is bananas.
That's awesome.
Like, we're waiting in line for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing. Mm-hmm. They got a guy, like, with the green shirt and the shitty Polaroid camera,
right,
running around snapping your picture. It's a good picture. You're gonna love it. That'll be $2. Oh God,
that's cool,
bro. Seriously, he's even got like the blood going down his face and everything. It's nuts. I don't know that we're gonna get the same level of horror fanboyness out of a Six Flags.
No.
Right.
You know?
Universal takes it a step up from Six Flags, but it's fun. It's like a giant.
Have they done this before, Six Flags?
Oh yeah.
The horror thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they close down the park after like a certain time, and
Oh.
half of it's full of fog. And
They got the sliders, right? Or is that Knott's Berry Farm? The zombie. They put like metal knee pads on and they slide.
Oh, and they spike up. Yeah, sparks. Yeah.
Come flying out of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That might be Knott's Berry Farm now that I think about it. But that's pretty nuts too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean you don't normally see zombies sliding on concrete.
But if they did, that'd be pretty cool.
I mean, really, like, I guess anybody could do it, really, with some metal knee pads. All right, well, whatever. That's fun.
Well, that's all I got.
Chuck, you got anything, homeboy?
no,
Okay.
All right, what do you got?
We're off to a disappointing start for Chuck.
as expected.
Dudes. I got big news coming out of Scream Factory.
Oh, really?
Are you ready for this? I got 4K full bonus material upgrades for 3 of our favorite horror titles. Number 1, Drag Me to Hell.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
You will not find car combat in a better sequence than that, especially
Right.
involving an old hag. Number 2, a movie very near and dear to my heart, Shocker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great one.
And Land of the Dead.
Oh, interesting.
I will-
Wonder why
I-
they chose that one.
That's a good question, man. They seem to just pick random horror movies to do the upgrade
All
on.
right.
I had my birthday a couple weeks ago. Got a gift card. I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to head on over to Scream Factory and pick up some new titles.
Yeah.
I get over there. I click the page. Staring me right back in the face, Creepshow 3.
Whoa.
What the fuck are we doing here, bros?
Right?
Creepshow 3?
Of all of them, 3?
That's the worst movie I've ever seen in my natural life.
Yeah.
Okay, bottom 5.
I was gonna say, have you seen our movie?
I have. I made our movie, Chuck.
Right.
Son of a bitch! That's weird. They just picked the weirdest movies over there to give the 4K resolution to. Does the name Marcus Dunstan ring any bells?
A little bit.
Okay. You guys seen a movie called The Collector?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
How about The Collected?
No.
We're possibly talking about a trilogy. The Collection
Oh.
is in the works. Now, he's teased us with this horse shit before.
Okay.
Doesn't necessarily mean we're actually going to get the goddamn movie.
Right.
But he's on X, and he's talking about things being in production and production meetings and principal photography.
Okay.
So, we could be off and running with that. You guys Disney fans at all? Trailers are up for Mousetrap, an unofficial Mickey Mouse horror movie.
Okay.
Weird.
Now, I watched the trailer. Other than a guy in a big Dead Mouse-esque NCAA mascot costume, there's really nothing to indicate anything Disney and or Mickey Mouse. But the trailer was only about 14 seconds that I saw.
Okay.
So I think we're floating down the river of Blood and Honey, the Winnie the Pooh horror movies.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's whatever it
All
is.
right.
Whatever you want to do there. With the Witchboard remake.
A remake, huh?
That's already done, dude. It's already done. It's out there. And it's going to hit VOD next week.
Interesting.
Not getting the best reviews.
Yeah.
When was the last time you watched Witchboard?
No, probably 10 years ago.
Not Tom Hardy is listening to this and he's pulling his hair out right now. And I'm sorry, Mr. Hardy, but I'm going to tell you it's a mediocre movie, except for Tawny Katane and her shower scene.
Right.
That was pretty kick-ass.
Yep.
The rest of the movie is... It's almost got like a gay undertone to it, like with the two dudes.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, Chuck. Oh, shit.
We forgot you were here.
Sorry about that, Chuck. Nothing wrong with that. Love those two dudes.
That's right.
And their butt sex and whatever they're doing. But I mean, okay, if you put it on the Kevin Tenney like power rankings, not as good as Night of the Demons.
Right.
Leagues above Witch Trap is what I will tell you. So it's in there. I feel like there's no place to go but up for a Witchboard remake, barring, of course, Tawny Katane's boobies.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, well, you ponder that. It's going to hit VOD next week. Haven't seen it yet, but again, not getting the best reviews. Not that reviews mean anything to me.
I'll check it out.
Okay, I got some big news for you there, Hot Pants.
Oh, yeah?
And I want you to keep your hands where I can see them.
Oh, yeah?
This one, yes. Dexter.
Oh.
Resurrection.
What?
Starring Michael C. Hall.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Returning for another series sequel.
Wow. So was
Now-
that 9?
Yes. But I don't know if we're counting the prequel series that's in the works.
Right.
I don't
Well,
know.
I'm anxious for it.
Okay, but how disappointing was that last season?
It was terrible because I had to hurry up and wrap it up.
Okay, so barring the last episode, maybe not as bad as we remember.
Right.
The last episode was dog shit.
Yeah.
So there's that. Mm-hmm. But this could take us in a whole new direction. All right, bros, that's all we got on horror news. You guys ready for some listener mail?
You betcha.
Hi-ya!
Listener mail.
Yeah, buddy. Let's start things off with an email here, coming all the way from Sydney, Australia. It's our main team,
Hey, Tim.
the dummy of horror. Subject line, Dracula's not that tough. Hey guys, what's happening this week? Hoping all of you are doing well. Okay, Meat Hook, high-rise horror. Number 3, Demons 2. All right. Yeah, I suppose he's right. That is technically a high-rise horror movie. Number 2, Evil Dead Rise. Number 1, The Belko Experiment.
Oh,
I fucking forgot all about that.
I did too. That's a good one.
It's because it's an office building, buddy. I was thinking like apartments and shit.
Yeah.
All right, Tim. Son of a bitch, you got
Good
us.
call. Good call.
Pterodome. So I've thought about this a lot at first. Dracula seemed like the obvious choice, but after much thought, I think Art would take this out. We don't actually know what Art the Clown is yet. After Terrifier 2, he does things that prove he is not human. Dracula has a lot of powers, sure, but in every film he's in, he's defeated pretty easily, so put me down for Art the Clown. Darian, I have no idea who you are. I'm sorry I have failed you. Stay beautiful, you beautiful people. Well, thank you very much, Tim. To be honest, I forgot who... yeah, okay, yep. Right on. Chuck, who do you think would win in a fight between Art the Clown and Dracula?
I've got to go with Dracula.
Dracula?
Yeah.
That's my guy right there. Okay. I'm only giving you one vote because I'm technically counting you as a host now. So that's all you get. Right on, dude.
It's all we're worth.
That's it. We only get one. I only put myself down for one.
Price I'm worth that.
Except sometimes when I feel like fixing the fights, and then I just tell you who won, and we don't worry about those, which does happen from time to time. Right on, dudes. We got some voicemails coming in here.
All right.
Let's kick things off in beautiful downtown Anderson, Indiana. Here comes Coop Nukem.
Hey, what's going on?
Good evening, gentlemen.
What's up, Coop?
Man.
Good evening.
This week you have the 3 on the Meat Hook is high-rise horror.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
So, I've got number 3, Demons 2.
Okay.
was weird as hell, but I liked
It is.
it.
Doesn't make a lick of sense, that movie. That's
Number 2, Poltergeist 3.
That's a terrible movie. That is a
And
terrible
number 1, I don't know if you may have seen this back in the 80s. My sister and I used to watch the crap out of this.
Okay.
There's a segment in the little movie called Cat's Eye. It was in like the high-rise apartment. Dude made the guy walk around the outside of it without falling. Anyway, that's all I have. Have a good week.
Beautiful. Thanks for calling in, Coop.
Thank you.
Dude, that Cat's Eye movie is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good show.
Uh-huh.
Why can't James Woods just quit smoking?
Right.
They're like kidnapping his family and brutalizing him. You know, that notwithstanding, the part where the guy is banging the millionaire's wife and he's got to go around the outside of the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll pucker your butt cheeks right up. I don't care if you're afraid of heights or not. Right on, Coop. Thanks for calling in, dude. Chuck, off the top of your head,
Yeah.
does a high-rise horror film come to mind that you particularly enjoyed?
Like themed high rise?
I mean, just really any horror film that involves a large building.
So, like 28 weeks later, wasn't there a?
I would call that a high-rise horror film.
When they're chasing them up the stairs.
Yes, and incidentally, if you run into Jeremy Renner, he will talk to you about that movie at length for long periods of time. Do not bring up the Jeffrey Dahmer's, because that's when he shuts right down and you are dismissed. You don't want to talk about it? That's it. He'll talk about Avengers. 28 weeks later, no, they did not set him on fire. That was a stunt double. I learned that. And, don't talk about Jeffrey Dahmer, because apparently he didn't want to talk about that. Let's get down to our main man in Alabama. Here comes Alan.
Hey, Alan.
What's up? Hope everybody's doing good.
What's up, Alan?
Paradome, Jimmy Dracula.
Okay.
Mr. Darian, your 13 Ghosts.
He's got me.
Let's see, High Rise Horror.
What do you think of that?
Number 3, I'm going to go, it's gotten a lot of love from the horror crowd. Not really horror, but definitely in a high rise. Definitely a lot of cool violence. The Raid Redemption.
Oh, yeah.
Then I'm going to go Dawn of the Dead as the opening. And finally, Evil Dead Rise, and just honorable mention, even though it's absolutely not horror, once again, a lot of high-rise and cool violence, Dread. That's all I got. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Beautiful. Thanks for calling in.
All right, thanks.
He mentions Dread. He's talking about that Judge Dredd movie from, I think it was 2013. There was also a horror movie called Dread. It's a Clive Barker adaptation about a couple of college kids that are doing a term paper on like phobias and fears and different things like that. That one's pretty good too.
Okay.
Because they end up kidnapping a chick and naturally things go awry from there. Right on, Alan. Thanks for calling in, dude.
Right on.
Let's get over to Southern California. Mr. Tom Hardy has arrived. Hey-yo!
Hey-yo!
Hey, Tom Hardy.
That was my favorite degenerate this week.
We're here.
We hope everyone is doing well, and week is going okay. Wanted to get in real quick there. I got you on the educating here, looking at 13 Ghosts.
Yep. You got it.
Man, it was a good flick.
It was.
Yeah, I know it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
It's fine.
There's a bunch of plot holes.
There
and
is.
whatnot. I don't know. I actually enjoyed that flick. Man.
Me too.
I don't know. Anyway, on the What Are You Looking At department,
Yeah, what do you got?
I did get to catch Event Horizon again. I know
Love
that
it.
was on.
Nice.
I think it was on Amazon or something like that.
Yeah,
Love that flick. Always a good watch.
I agree.
And I did get to catch another one called In a Stranger's House.
Huh.
And it's a, what do they call it?
Found footage.
A Blair Witch type movie.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't think of the name. You know
Found
what I'm
footage,
talking
Tom
about.
Hardy. I do. I got you.
Camera and the guy holds it. You know what I mean.
I got you.
Pretty forgettable.
Okay.
I saw it 2-3 days ago. Couldn't tell you a whole lot about it. Typical looking in the, he's in the house, shakes the camera around, makes some noises.
Sure.
And then, everybody acts like, ooh, spooky. And it's pretty forgettable. Kind of be honest with you, I chose it based on how long it was.
Okay.
Just because it was a short one, so I figured, okay, you know what, that'll be fine. But
sure.
I don't know. I'd say skip it.
Okay.
What else? Oh, yeah. On the meat hooks there, we got
high-rise
splits,
yes.
right? And I got to say, you know what, for number 3, put me down for Wreck. I got to say, I wouldn't have thought about it, but he didn't mention it, but I think he's right, Candyman. That would fall in there. And then for number 1, and I know this is just a me thing, but
okay.
Demons 2. I don't know.
Everybody loves Demons 2.
I remember that, but that did take place in a high-rise apartment complex.
Yep.
And then, the demons coming out and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I remember just loving that flick. Haven't seen it forever. Don't know if it holds up, but still remember it, fucking loving it.
Okay.
Not as good as Demons 1, you know.
That's where I'm at.
Find out what the hell happened to Rosemary, but all in all, still a good flick. We got the Paradome.
Yeah.
We got Dracula versus Art the Clown.
What do you think of that?
I don't know what's going on with the Paradome here, but it seems to be all blowout.
Not all.
And I think it's going to continue that way here. So
okay.
Put me down for Dracula.
Yeah.
And that's all I got. Hope all is well. Love you like family. Bye.
Love you too, Tom Hardy. Demons 2, man. So here's the problem I have with Demons 2. Good show. Doesn't make a lot of sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And especially if you watch it like right after Demons, like the first Demons, it makes zero sense. So I feel like that movie should have been just called
Other Demons?
Creepy Apartment or something. You know what I'm saying? Like if you didn't call it Demons 2, it would have been fine. But since you're watching it in conjunction with the first Demons, then you're like, this doesn't make any sense at all. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me. It's fine. It's a good high-rise horror. I will say that. And it has Willie the Pimp coming back.
Willie the Pimp.
God damn, I love that guy. Beautiful black man. That is all we have on the listener mail, my friends. Do you guys have anything for Tom Hardy, Alan Cooper, or Tim?
Thanks, everybody, for calling and writing in.
You guys are the best.
Thank you very much.
The best.
Yeah.
I think it's movie time, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
73 Apple, take 1, Mark.
The story of Alzheimer's is never about one person. My PhD I'm going to start again.
You want to keep the house? You need to sacrifice. You talk to me about sacrifice?
Hey. Hi.
Ma! They want to make a movie about this.
Yes. We will live and document our subjects' physical and mental degradation over the course of 2 one-month periods.
We're going to have fun, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm not interested in being exploited.
Sarah mentioned that Deb's been sleepwalking pretty bad, so let's set up surveillance cams. You really gave us all quite a fright with your late-night gardening.
This is not normal sleepwalking. You should come see this. It's not good, Doc. Do you remember a man named Henri Desjardins? Went missing 30 years ago.
I tried to wash you in the river, you know.
A lot to become.
That woman is crazy.
The notion of spiritual parasites does exist.
Okay.
That's right, bros. It's The Taking of Deborah Logan,
Yes.
finally. 6 stars on IMDb, written and directed by Adam Robitaille. Stars Jill Larson, Ann Ramsey, and Michelle Ng. This one's got a hard R rating. For senior citizen nudity.
Yeah.
Which I did not know that I was signing up for
Right.
when I watched this movie.
Didn't do anything for you? That little scene there?
I mean, a little bit of the...
little booty?
Old booty? She takes good care of herself.
Yeah.
That one.
For an older lady, yeah.
Yes. I mean, well, okay, we'll get into that in a second. Anyway, we are in Exuma, Virginia. That's a bad name. That's a bad name for a town right there.
Might as well just call it Acne, Virginia.
I know, right? Itchy, scratchy, Virginia.
Yeah.
Small town, obviously, and we are opening up. We're in found footage territory here, inmates. We are opening up with a student film documentarian, Artur, who is explaining that she is doing a documentary on Alzheimer's. She's got a ragtag film crew behind her. We have the usual chuckleheads. We have the AV guy. And then we have like a set design guy, and we have like a photographer dude. There's always the squeamish dude. There's always there's a thug in every film crew for some reason. And then we have the Heather Donahue type that just wants to get out there and film everything because she's going to make a difference. And this is going to be her big project, and it's going to, I don't know, jumpstart her career, and who gives a shit. Anyway, her name is Mia, and she is doing the documentary on Alzheimer's. We get a very quick little snippet of her introducing herself, and, this is her film project, or for her PhD, I think she said.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's going to be a big deal, so good luck to you, Mia. For the Alzheimer's project, we need an actual Alzheimer's patient, and we have found said patient in Exuma, Virginia. Exuma? Am I saying it wrong?
They say eczema. But it's spelled eczema.
Right.
But, yeah, they say eczema.
Eczema.
They never said how much they were going to make, though, did they? Because I was trying to find out how much it was like, we're going to make money on this. I was wondering how...
It's a good question, because throughout the movie, one of the dick faces that is on the film crew is like, I'm double my rate or I'm leaving. So, how much is she paying these chuckleheads, I wonder?
Yeah.
I have the same question about this.
Oh, you're not getting paid?
Oh.
No. No, you're not. Well, so, put that thought right out of your head. Buddy's been here for years. So far, I've paid him one Subway footlong, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all you get, man.
It was a footlong, but it wasn't Subway.
Yeah. Right on. So, yeah, that's where we're at. She found her patient, so to speak, and we're going to meet the Alzheimer's victim, I guess, the lady that has the Alzheimer's, the titular Deborah Logan. We start off by meeting her daughter, Sarah, outside of the house. House looks great. It's a huge colonial-style farmhouse surrounded by woods. In a small town in Virginia, it looks absolutely amazing. We meet Sarah, who is played by Anne Ramsey. You guys recognize Anne Ramsey?
Yeah. Mad About You.
Mad About You. She was recently in a horror film called Brooklyn 4-5, which is really good.
Okay.
In fact, now that I think about it, that might play into next month's itinerary. But we'll get to that in a minute. For the purposes of this movie, Sarah, the daughter, is a little rough around the edges. Looks like there might be some issues there to start off with. I mean, she's affable enough. She's got like she's happy, and she's happy to see the film crew.
Trying to take care of her mom.
Trying to take care of her mom by herself, obviously. That sucks also. This is where we kind of find out that the film, Mia, the documentarian, is offering quite a bit of money. Well, I don't know how much exactly. Right. Some money to Sarah and her mom for the purposes of making this documentary. They need that money bad. So that's up right there up front. We meet Deborah Logan, played by Jill Larson. She looks good, dude, I think, for being a 70-year-old Alzheimer's patient.
Right.
I would put her
around
there.
Yeah.
She looks way better put together than Sarah, I would say.
Yeah.
Not that I'm like looking at 70-year-old ladies, but if there are any listening, she's like at the initial meeting, she seems You bet. Hey.
70-year-old ladies that have Alzheimer's, so they forget about you.
Right there, Mr. Man. Buddy's like, I'm going to check on my grandma real quick. I want to make sure she's not listening to this show.
That's right.
She seems like with it. She seems like mentally coherent. She's present. She's like, oh, film crew. Oh, yeah, okay. They kind of walk around the premises and talk to Deborah for a little bit. At the end, Deborah's like, this is way too invasive. I'm not interested. And then Sarah takes Deborah aside and she's like, look, Ma, we really need the money. And she kind of does like a little crying thing for a hot second. And then Deborah's like, okay, well, no, we're not doing it. So they send me and the film crew away, but then they get a call a little bit later saying, okay, we're in. So they come back and then they start filming like Deborah in her everyday routines. Starts off innocent enough. Typical Alzheimer's stuff. Deborah is kind of like showing them around the house, and she's like, this is a genuine what do you call bedroom set. This is a genuine bedroom set that came from my aunt when she lived in the house and things like that. Just kind of like her slightly losing her vocabulary periodically, like she can't find the words. So that's kind of cool. I mean, it's not for her, but it seems at this point innocent enough to where it's like, okay, this is early onset Alzheimer's, so we don't have too much of a problem just yet. Everything is going well. This is where we meet the neighbor, Harris. Now, Harris seems to me like he might be a little too invested in Deborah and her daughter and the house. What's going on with these two? Were they banging at one point?
I think so.
I hope so. For the amount of time and energy that Harris has put into this house.
Or at least he really wanted to.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
And I like to think that at some point, at least a handy J came into the equation. Or so maybe he was beating off outside of her window. I don't know. Harris is very protective of Deborah and Sarah. Everything seems cool. Like we talked to Harris. Deborah is preoccupied with a certain patch of yard, I guess. They call it a garden, but there's nothing there, really. Right. It's just a tree and a bunch of deadfall, and she's like constantly just like looming around this patch of dirt for some reason. Interesting, but innocent enough so far. Harris pulls Sarah aside. We get a lot of like hidden camera stuff going on here.
Yeah,
like the filmmakers are like skulking about in the woods, and they're like, "What are you doing?
What do you think? What do you think they're saying?
Turn up this microphone a little bit, see what they're talking about."
Yeah, we're nosy.
Hey, you gonna go out there and beat off? You fucking dirty.
Are they lovers? You gonna make you a ham sandwich?
What are you gonna do? Making something to eat? 'Cause I'm hungry. Harris pulls Sarah aside at one point, and he's like, hey, dude, nothing good is going to come of this. Why don't you just get rid of these fucking people? And, it's not good for your mom. She doesn't need the excitement, so just get rid of them. And Sarah's like, no, we really need the money, and they're trying to help. And, what else could possibly go wrong here? Okay, very cool. Harris shoves off for a little bit. Now we get a little backstory about Deborah and where she came from, and Sarah, and what brought us to this point. So, Deborah was a single mom because her husband died when Sarah was about 2. That sucks. She had to quickly adapt to being a single mom, probably in the late 60s, I'd say, and started a phone answering service, switchboard, old school, like where you had to unplug the fucking thing and plug it into somewhere else. Now, I'm not a stickler for details, but judging by the age of Sarah and the age of Deborah, I'm going to say this probably happened in the 70s. I don't think we were still using the plug and pull method on the phones. But again, I don't live in Eczema, Virginia, and I don't have eczema. And if I did, I would get the proper ointments to cure that eczema.
Noxzema.
That's a face wash, actually. And a girl who runs people over and kills them.
Yeah.
It's a whole other side story right there. We'll get to that later.
That's part 2.
That's part 2 of eczema, Virginia. It's wacky, but so basically this is what we learn, is that Deborah raised Sarah by herself, doing this switchboard operator situation. Apparently she made a pretty good little chunk of change doing that.
Yeah.
But what we also find out is that Deborah learned all of the town's secrets and learned which dudes, this guy's an alcoholic, and if his wife calls, he is not at the bar. Of course he is at the bar, and this guy is cheating on his wife with that guy's wife, so if his wife calls, then that, I don't know where he is, or she's got the dirt on everything.
Sure
you
does.
know which hole to put your probe into.
Exactly.
You get to hear those things.
And then you can listen to the whole shit, apparently.
Right.
So that's how it goes down. It's kind of like I would call it like a 1965 small town dirt podcast. Really is what it is, because you can just listen to whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's crazy. Very cool. Okay, so this is when things start to get a little wacky here with Deborah, because don't look at me like that. You see that, Chuck? He gave me the slight eyebrow raise.
I get that a lot.
Oh, what do you mean?
I know where you're going.
What do you mean? Wacky? Keep your hands where I can see them, will you? From there, things start to get a little weird, because, I mean, it starts off, still, we're in the realm of Alzheimer's here. So she does a lot of sleepwalking. She does a lot of going room to room and forgetting why she went into that room. One night, she wakes up in the middle of the night and just kind of not there anymore. Okay, that's bad news. The good news is that our camera crew has wired the entire house with all these security cameras, and we can very quickly find out where the hell she went. So we're trying to find her. Sarah is freaking right out trying to find her mom. Roll the surveillance cameras back. What we see is that she got up, went down. Well, first off, she took like a weird kind of stroll about the house, and then she went down to the kitchen, and she is standing at the kitchen sink in 1 second. On the next second, she is standing on top of the kitchen sink. So either she's an Olympic high jumper, or something crazy happened, and there's no time differential.
Yeah, no time difference.
So she just went bang, bang, and then she out the window, right above the kitchen sink. Okay, well, that's creepy, but we don't have time to figure that out right now. We got to go track her down. So she went out the kitchen window. Where did she go? Let's all go outside of the kitchen window and see if we can track her down. Find her in that weird, mysterious plot of dirt that she calls a garden. It's got like one garden gnome. There is a garden gnome there.
Yeah.
And that's going to come into play later.
Thus makes a garden.
I guess that's all you need, really.
Yeah.
I need to get some gnomes so that all the dirt around my house can be called a garden, and the HOA will fuck off. Because then it will just be gardens instead of unsightly weeds.
Don't you see my gnomes?
Yeah. Those aren't weeds. I'm growing those. You fucking assholes. Leave me alone. And I'm not paying those fines either. Regardless, she's out there and she's like clawing and scratching at the dirt. Very creepy. Very scary. What the hell is she doing? I don't know. Eventually Sarah comes. She's like, Mom, calm your ass down. She kind of gets Deb to like snap out of it for a second. We get her back to bed, get her cleaned up. Everything's cool. She's very disoriented the next morning. Okay. What happened? I don't know. I don't know what happened. I got a bunch of fucking dirt under my fingernails, and I'm all dirty and filthy, and there's like some blood and scrapes on my hands. You say, and then we show Deb the video, and she's like, "That's impossible. I couldn't have done that. Look at that. I did like a high jump thing on the sink. How could I have possibly done that?"
Right.
All right. Well, either you're crazy or we are, or you might be have a little bit of the old maybe like your head's gonna spin around or something there, Sweet Pea. But we'll get to that here in a second. All right, wacky. From there, we get into more. It just kind of escalates from there. We're in full-on possession mode here, and when we get into this style of possession mode, it like encumbers the whole house. So from here, we go into like blinking lights, slamming doors. We have a particular vagina on the film crew. His name is Gavin. And anytime anything happens, Gavin immediately wants either a pay raise or he's going to get in his van and leave. All right, you're a pussy.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Get out of here, you big vagina.
I don't know what she's paying you, but it's too much, and suck a dick on your way out. Also, things are getting a little more heated with the neighbor Harris. All of a sudden, he's like really coming around and really being more insistent that Sarah get rid of the film crew. At one point, he actually offers to sell like his car and give them the money.
Right.
All right, so Harris clearly has... He knows something.
Yes.
Right? Something's going on here.
Yeah, at that point, it's like fishy.
Yeah. Fishy, buddy. It is definitely fishy. Tilapia, trout, possibly salmon. I don't know.
Bass.
Bass, even.
Wide mouth.
Wide mouth bass, buddy. That's what it is. All right, so now things are getting really creepy. Now we get another sleepwalking experience. This time, Deb gets up and starts disrobing as she goes. Things are getting creepy. She's got the old switchboard plug and play, whatever that fucking thing is where you... I don't know what you call that.
I think it's a switchboard.
A switchboard. Oh, who do you want to talk to? Okay, let me unplug you from there and plug you into there.
Oh, sorry, wrong one.
Oh, shit, that's not my... Okay, all right. That thing starts, like, ringing in the middle of the night. Apparently,
that's weird.
That's what those did. They rang. And it's a loud, obnoxious ring. Everybody wakes up, including our film crew, trying to find the ringing phone. It's not a fucking phone. It's a switchboard. They are running around. They forgot that it was up in the attic. Fucking attics, dude. Don't go in the attic. Also, Deb is missing again. Sarah's freaking right out. Where's Mom? Where's Mom? Roll the footage back, and we get the footage of her disrobing as she parades around the house in a catatonic state, looking out windows and things like that. Eventually, we find her up in the attic, nudie for Rudy, and manning the switchboard.
Yeah.
Now, she is growling, I would say.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of, like... barking at the switchboard and stuff like that. Eventually, Sarah calms her down, gets her back in bed again. Gets some fucking clothes on her, too. I will say that Jill Larson, knock about 15, 20 years off her, probably a pretty attractive young lady.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Even like in a high MILF category. I don't normally do the GILF, but I will do a MILF. You know what I'm saying? Shapely. Like, we get to see some side boob here.
Right.
And I think she was at one point endowed. All right, enough about me and my senior citizens. We get her back downstairs. We get her sorted out. We start reviewing the footage. Why is she taking her fucking clothes off? I don't know. What is she doing up there with the switchboard? How the fuck is that thing ringing? Because it hasn't worked in decades.
Right.
What the hell's going on there? What we see is a couple of things. First off, while she's there at the switchboard with the headphones on, she's like scribbling something feverishly. So that's something to look at. Also, when we slow the audio down, we can make out some discernible words in the barking and the growling.
Yeah.
Okay. So why don't we check out the scribbling first? We take a piece of paper. It was like she was like carving it into the paper. So we take a piece of paper, lay it on it, and do that Inspector Gadget move where you scribble over it to find out what she wrote. And we get the word Desjardins. Dejardin. I'm gonna take a wild guess at that. That's probably wrong. What the fuck does that mean? I don't know. Roll the audio back, slow it down a little bit, try to figure out what she was saying. A bunch of vulgar stuff.
Yeah.
Rah, fucking bitch, I was going to wash you in the river. Rah, rah. The hell does that mean? I don't know. Let's do a Google search on Desjardins and find out what that's all about.
Yeah.
And find out that there was a bit of a kid diddler, possibly, in the area back when Sarah was a kid.
Yep.
We got 3 dead bodies, young ladies, all of them, found in the river. Weird carvings on their foreheads, killed in a ritualistic fashion.
Yeah.
The shit is this all about, man?
Right?
This guy, we do the Google search on the Desjardins guy. We find out he was a local pediatrician, and he was linked to the disappearances of these young ladies.
Ugh.
And before he could be captured or prosecuted, he mysteriously vanished. Chuck, he vanished.
Where did he go?
Where could he even be? What is he doing? What's happening?
Mexico.
Hopefully. No.
Canada.
We're Canada. Maybe...
Blame Canada.
Sure. Or possibly Idaho.
Oh.
I hear it's nice this time of year. All right. Pretty creepy. So what's going on with that? We don't know. So we go and ask Deborah, what's up with this Desjardins guide? You remember that? All of a sudden, like, her eyes roll back in her head, and she got... and then she kind of freaks out and attacks one of the crew members.
Mm-hmm.
About this time, things are really starting to escalate. Our neighbor, Harris, shows up outside of the house with a shotgun and just starts shooting all the windows out of the movie-making van. This causes Gavin, our resident pussy, to basically haul ass.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know that I 100% disagree with Gavin on this one.
I might have gone...
If somebody is shooting at me with a shotgun, I tend to go the opposite direction.
Right.
That's my opinion. But not if there's, like, ghost stuff going around. That's a whole other thing. Very scary stuff. Excuse me. At this point, Deborah is getting more and more freaky, and we're going to put a exclamation point on that by capturing her swallowing her little porcelain figurines whole, just right down the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
She starts choking. Obviously, we grab her, throw her on the ground, and manage to pump those things out of her, which is great. That night, she goes missing again. We find her in the garden again. This time, she's scantily clad and just, again, rabidly throwing dirt everywhere. At this point, Sarah and Mia are kind of putting together what the fuck is going on here, because this is clearly much more than Alzheimer's.
Right.
We got a bunch of paranormal shit going on here, dudes.
Mm-hmm.
So, Deborah needs, like, some more intensive care than we can offer here at the house by ourselves. Get her checked into a hospital.
Yeah.
Excellent. Our AV guy, Luis, wires up the hospital room with cameras and sound and all that fun stuff. Deborah she's gone full Reagan at this point. She's like spasming and she looks like a corpse, stuff like that. Very scary stuff. She gets out and manages to sweet talk one of the little girls there at the hospital. How she found Jason Voorhees' daughter, I have no idea, but that's definitely who she came upon. And they are making their exit out of the hospital. Okay, that's scary stuff. Where's she taking her? I don't know. Luckily, apparently there's an abandoned wing of this hospital.
Sure.
You would think that would be like sealed off or something, but they just go wandering off. Luckily, the cops catch them before any damage is done and bring her back. They get her strapped down, secured this time, Deborah, and they get the little girl back in her little girl Jason Voorhees suite, whatever it is. And this is when Harris shows back up. Mm-hmm. And he is like, okay, Deborah, you are fucking crazy, and what do you want me to do here? Because, there's some wacky stuff going on. Audio and visual running the whole time. We find out that she basically asks Harris to kill her. And Harris attempts to do so, but then she spazzes out and rips Harris's neck open. So now we get Harris in the hospital also. Sarah and Mia show up and they're like, Harris, what the fuck is going on here, dude? And this is where we get the big reveal that Deborah, being the switchboard operator, intercepted a phone call from Desjardins back when he was in his killing spree, and he had big plans of killing Sarah. So Deborah and Harris got together and killed Desjardins and buried his body in the quote-unquote garden, and that's why Deborah keeps going out there and digging randomly in the middle of the night, because fucking crazy demons or whatever. Scary stuff. So, okay, shit. Quickly do another Google search on Desjardins, and we get like a documentary about demonology. There's a doctor who knows how to dispel demons and get them out of you, so we contact him, and he's like, hey, dude, what you got to do, you got to find the original dead body, you got to light that sumbitch on fire, and then that will get rid of the Desjardins demon, and you should be good to go after that. Righteous. We know exactly.
Everybody knows.
Of course. Have you not seen Evil Dead from 2013? There's only 2 ways to do it. So they're like, gotcha. Run back to the garden, start digging. They don't find Desjardins just yet, but they do find the garden spade, which we found out from Harris, it was what was used to kill Desjardins.
Mm-hmm.
Got that sumbitch. All right, there's no dead body here, but we did find the murder weapon. Excellente. All right, but then we remembered that Deborah was out there monkey pawing the dirt a while ago and swallowed a bunch of worms and shit. So what happened was, we think Deborah got there before we did. Where could she have put those fucking bones, that body?
Right.
So we start running through the house, checking under beds, looking for anything that might have been disturbed. Find a mysterious entrance to an attic that apparently nobody knew about up until now. Go up there, and what we find, Chuck, is basically a Jack Shack. There is semen everywhere. What is all this white goop? Where did it come from? Who's running up there and masturbating in the attic?
Harris.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Because she's playing the switchboard naked, so he's up there jerking it.
He is fucking. He's gonna pull it.
Just tugging.
He's gonna pull that dick clean off. Is what he's gonna do.
Right.
A bunch of white gooey shit everywhere, dudes. Doesn't make any sense. I don't know. But they find like a weird patch of insulation that looks out of place. Run in there, grab it, pull it out. Oh shit, it's a bag of bones. And it's full of snakes too. Mm-hmm. All right, we gotta light this sumbitch on fire. So they run down to the fireplace. This part doesn't make a lot of sense to me at all, but maybe you guys can fill me in. Fire up the fireplace, throw the bones in there, get them going. Big, weird demon explosion. Everybody freaks right out and runs out of the house. Okay, I'm with you so far. About this time is when Sarah's cell phone rings, and it's the police officer, and she's like, hey, your mom abducted the Voorhees girl again, and this time they stole a car and took off. Okay, now, a thinking man would say to himself, she's clearly possessed by the Desjardins pedophile demon. I know how to get rid of said demon. The body is already in the fireplace. All I got to do is cook that motherfucker for another 15 to 20 minutes at 350 degrees, possibly rotate it during, just to make sure we get a good base on it, and our problems are over. Instead, what they do, gentlemen, is grab the bones out of the fire and take them with them back to the hospital. Why would you not just let the body cook? Because that's how we already established that's how you get rid of the demon is by burning up the bones, right?
Yeah, I think they think it didn't work.
They weren't ready to end the movie yet.
Oh, clearly. And I believe it was also in the script.
Yes.
So that might have been problem number 2. All right, well, whatever. I mean, I'm not complaining. I like this movie, and I'm not complaining. That's just a plot hole that didn't make a lot of sense to me. Regardless, they take off. They get in touch with the local police lady, and she's like, oh, yeah, stole a car in there. And they're like, okay, well, this is where the bodies were the original bodies were found. It was at an abandoned mill. We need to get up there as fast as we can because that's probably where she's taking this little girl to sacrifice her and complete the Desjardins demonic ritual of immortality or whatever it is. So they're like, okay, yeah, great, hop in the car. Well, we get like a fire break road that's a shortcut to get up there. They get up there just as Deborah and the little girl are there. They're like, hey, Deb, you want to take it easy? Deborah turns around and now has acidy spit.
Yeah. How creepy is that shit?
Right in one of the cops' face. She's now part xenomorph, apparently.
Yeah.
So he goes down. And then her and the little girl go hauling ass into the mill. This part kind of pissed me off because they say that Luis is the only guy from the film crew that's left. Mia is there, and she's like, Luis, you gotta follow him. You gotta follow him. And he's like, why do I gotta follow him? And she's like, I have to stay with Sarah. You fucking bitch. Mm-hmm. This is your documentary. I don't know what you're paying Luis, but I guarantee you it's not enough.
Yeah.
Reluctantly, Luis is like, fuck, all right. So he goes taking off into the mill. The cops are like 20, 30 feet in front of him. Bunch of gunshots go off. Luis turns a corner, finds the dead body of the female police officer. He's like, fuck. Comes around a corner. It goes into like this weird cavey, mine shafty kind of a thing. And we get to see Deborah basically deep-throating the girl, Python style, for lack of a better term.
Yep, a night vision.
Yeah, and that little cut scene right there has been memed thousands of times.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there are now like haunted attraction animatronics based on that you can see. It's fun. It's a fun little kind of a thing. He stops her. He's like, hey, stop, knock that shit off. And then she kind of pulls the girl out of her mouth. And she's like, ah. At this point, Sarah and Mia finally grow a pair and catch up. And they've got the bag of bones with them. And they're like, Mom, don't do it. And then they fucking light the bones on fire. And then Deborah kind of snaps out of it. And more police come in and they rescue the girl. And everything is well and good from there.
The poor dad.
Yeah. I'd be fucking furious.
Yeah.
And then after that, we get a little postscript of like a prologue of the documentary where Deborah is fine. Apparently, she didn't face any criminal charges for the acid he spit or the dead police officer. You can get away with a lot when you have Alzheimer's, apparently.
Barely so.
And the little girl is fine and well, and she now has a full head of hair.
Yeah.
And she looks well.
Yeah,
and
she's healing rather quickly.
Digestive flu has really helped her out.
Apparently,
yeah.
You get a nice old lady spit on the scalp, grow that hair right
That's
out.
what happens when you get head.
Maybe I should give that a shot.
Me too. The cul-de-sacs are coming in.
Right.
I've got the roundabout.
Yep. And then the little girl gives the camera like a devilish smile, like, and that's pretty much the end of your movie. What did you guys think of The Taking of Deborah Logan?
Good flick.
I loved it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's interesting that they play on the Alzheimer's aspect.
I agree.
Because, you don't think of possession with that kind of thing. They're just sick.
Yeah.
It's a perfect person to take over.
Totally. Yeah. Just before my father passed away, he had Alzheimer's. Nothing like that, though. He was mostly...
It wasn't swallowing kids?
Not that I know of. Not that I am willing to admit. Mostly just mistaking me for, like, cousins and things like that, and had no fucking idea who my mom was. His was more cheeky and fun. Like, he would find things on the carpet, like little lint balls, and bring them to me. Doesn't this look just like the state of Idaho? Yeah, well, okay.
It's kind of cute.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was kind of tragic, but it could have been a lot worse, obviously.
Right,
all things considered. I found this son of a bitch streaming on Tubi. I think I've got a copy around here somewhere, possibly on Blu-ray. I don't know. I got fucking stacks. If you want to check it out, inmates, it's on Tubi. It's a good show. That is going to wrap up Possession Month here in the Padded Room. We're rolling right into Demon Month starting next week, so prepare yourselves for that. I think it's time to take us a little break, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Hey inmates, if you like what you hear, head over to the Padded Room Facebook group and support us through the Patreon link with a small monthly donation. Check out the T-Villain link at paddedroom.podbean.com and grab some t-shirts. Thanks for listening and enjoy the rest of the show.
And we are back, gentlemen. Woo! I am old lady'd out. Be honest with you.
Yeah?
Yeah, I saw a whole lot of old lady. I don't think I need to see anymore. But I do think I need to see 3 on a meat hook.
Ooh.
Three on a meat hook.
This week's meat hook, top 3 opening scenes in a horror movie. Now, before we get into this, fellas, I want to enlighten you because Jason Harrell hit me up.
Yes, he did.
Jason, and he got me his 3 on a meat hook. Let's get his thoughts first, shall we? Where is Jason Harrell? Here he is. He says, number 3, Scream.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one.
Yep.
Do you like scary movies? Number 2, Evil Dead 2013. That's a pretty good one, too.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy, I'll swallow your fucking soul. Number 1, Dawn of the Dead from 2004.
Okay.
That one's pretty fucking gnarly, dude. As far as, like, immediate violence and getting kicked right in the dick.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going into a zombie movie thinking it's going to be a zombie movie, so what are you worried about? And then that little girl just does, like, the breakdance jump up, kip up thing. And then she comes, and then Sarah Pauly smashes the back of her head on the bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite what you're expecting.
No.
Yeah. All right. Buddy, why don't you hit us with number 3?
Number 3, Scream.
Scream. That's a good one, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I think the best part about that is? What are we looking at? Probably 4 minutes, and that's it for Drew Barrymore. She is on the face.
That's what made it work.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
She is the face of Scream. All
Yes.
over all of the marketing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the movie poster, it's her right up there, right up top.
This movie's going to have her star in it through the entire film.
Yeah, she's got to be the final girl.
4 minutes later. I love that about it. Chuck, what do you got on number 3?
So I'm going a little bit of a different direction with mine. Turns into a horror movie, but the beginning, not necessarily. From Dusk Till Dawn.
Okay, sure.
That opening scene is just classic Tarantino.
Dude. Yeah, the liquor store.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is good stuff. Did you ever watch the Dusk Till Dawn series?
Not really.
What I will say, it's
the first one's just like the movie.
It is, but it's like it goes way deep into the whole shit.
Mm-hmm.
All in all, I didn't think it was that great. What I will say that I really liked about it, though, was the guy that played Seth Gecko did a spot-on George Clooney Seth Gecko.
Oh, yeah.
He was amazing. The guy that played Richie Gecko was basically a dime store mannequin. He just, like, didn't move, didn't talk, just wore the glasses, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also didn't like Wilmer Valderrama.
Oh, he was in it?
Yeah, he was like the head of the Mexican cartel, and he was like funneling people into the Titty Twister.
Huh. Right.
He was a bit silly.
I'll have to check it out.
It's not bad.
It's worth a watch.
Don Johnson was great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he played like
he's always great.
The Texas Ranger that was trying to hunt them down.
Mm-hmm.
Thought he was pretty good.
Okay.
My number 3. Have you guys ever seen a movie? And you can go ahead and make all the gay jokes you want, called Climax. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I have not, but I think I want to check it out.
It's an interesting movie. It's made by Gaspar Noé, who did Irreversible,
right?
Enter the Void. Very experimental French director. Now, the cool thing about Climax is that the crux of the story is that you have a dance troupe that is sequestered inside of a warehouse dormitory situation, and they are rehearsing for their big dance performance, right? This is the last night of their rehearsals. Everybody's keyed in and knows what they're doing. Unfortunately, somebody put a little bit of acid in the punch. And now everybody is freaking right out and raping and killing each other.
Yeah.
And
not what I ever did on acid.
There is a child involved, and nothing good happens to this young man.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
But the cool part about the opening to this movie is that we get to see the dance performance right up front. And we're talking about probably, I would say, at least 20 to 25 people. The choreography for this thing is insane. The music is insane. Sophia Boutella. I want to touch her inappropriately.
Frequently.
Yes. A lot of people think she's a dude. I don't care. I still want to have sex with him, her.
I'm not surprised.
I don't care.
That explains the Mummy.
Yeah, I like it. I like him, her, and that one too.
Right?
Hot, man. Whatever it is, I don't care. But the opening sequence, the actual performance of the big dance recital, choreography, whatever it is bananas. Because there's so many people running around and so many different like moving parts, and like the DJ is back there and he's doing his thing, and it's really, it lasts probably, I would say, 6 to 8 minutes of just all these people in so many moving parts and going back and forth. There is no horror at all in that opening sequence. And the really cool part about Climax is that it's all one continuous take. There are no cuts.
Wow.
So you start off and like the camera's over here and these two guys over here are talking about how they would want to fuck this chick, and that's great. And then the camera just slowly goes over here where this young lady is talking about how she has this audition over here and she's kind of pumped and this is going to be a big opportunity. And then the camera just continues on, and that's how the whole movie goes. And then eventually somebody goes, I feel kind of weird. And then camera goes slowly over here, and this guy's got a fucking knife. And what's he doing? And then the camera comes over here, and then eventually it goes back over there where there's 3 dead people, and there's a rape happening over here, so we're going to kind of move over here. It's a whole ass thing, dude. That's my number 3, Climax. How about number 2, buddy?
Evil Dead Rise.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Attaboy, buddy. I made
a great opener.
It is, and I made a tragic tactical error. I put the movie on, and then I wasn't really paying attention, and I went on about my business. And in the meantime, my kid brought a couple of his friends in.
There you go.
And, I got, one of them can't sleep. This was like 3 weeks ago, by the way. One of them can't sleep at all. Now, that, mind you, they only made it to the opening.
Right.
Before my son was like, hey, that's enough of that. Deacon has seen it like 3 times. He thinks it's great. But the neighbor kids,
right?
It's good for them.
The other 2 are in a mental institute. So.
Well, the other one now has a fear of drones.
Oh, really? Wow. That's crazy.
Chuck, how about number 2, big dog?
So I'm going with Ghost Ship for number 2.
Fucking asshole! I meant to put that on my list.
Oh.
I meant to, because I should have. And I completely forgot about it, but that's okay, because I got 2 other movies.
It's such a great opening scene.
And
the rest of the movie's terrible.
That's the problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the fucking problem right there.
Well, just watch the first 5 minutes of the movie and turn it off.
The byline comes loose, and the very eloquent captain's dance is going on, and then lawnmower time.
Yep. Just slide apart.
And then you just get like a quick, what happened?
And that little girl,
yeah,
the one left alive to witness all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, just because she
good thing she was short.
Happened to be a couple inches too short. I should have fucking had that on my list, buddy. I don't know why I didn't, because that's fucking bullshit. Good catch there, Chuck. My number 2, you ask? A little film based in Detroit. Low budget, but very... I would say a film almost made by its ambiguity and its soundtrack. A little film called It Follows.
Oh, yeah.
I was playing with that one.
Okay, I get that. Yeah. I get that. What I love about it is you have what appears to be a rape interrupted. Young lady comes running out of the house in high heels, wearing a nightgown, screaming, yelling, here it comes, here it comes. Neighbors are like, are you okay, are you okay? she doesn't appear to be running from anyone or anything, but all of a sudden she hops in her car and hauls ass, and then before you know it, she's laying on a beach with her leg cracked. Like Scorpion.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened there? We don't know. We'll find out as the movie goes on.
Right.
But you've definitely got my attention. Mm-hmm. And that soundtrack, dude.
Yeah.
That is where it is at. That's my number 2. How about number 1, buddy?
Ghost Ship.
You
my number 1.
You son of a bitch. As it should have been. I went a different direction, but that's okay. Speaking of Scream Factory and the weird movies that they choose to give the 4K resolution to, Ghost Ship is on the list.
Wow.
Yeah, you can get that on the Scream Factory.
That scene in 4K would be amazing.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Just that scene, though.
Just that scene, yeah.
You know, I think it might bear a rewatch. I think it may not be as bad as
I've seen it actually quite a few times.
Yeah?
It's fine.
It's okay. Yeah, it's fine.
It just doesn't live up to the beginning.
It can't.
No. That sets a strong precedence. And that one was actually made by, I don't know if you guys remember, Dark Castle Studios.
Right.
Which was synonymous with making remakes of old horror films. House on Haunted Hill, 13 Ghosts, also did Gothica, which a lot of people will credit for Robert Downey Jr.'s resurrection.
I like Gothica.
It's interesting. I'll say it's interesting.
It's kind of weird.
It's very weird. Right on. Chuck, how about number 1, big guy?
So number 1, I'm going with Scream.
Okay. I see we're doing laps. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, really, those two I could put in either order, but Scream, just it was iconic.
Sure.
After that movie came out, and I mean, it just the way they did it. Drew Barrymore dying. Yeah.
Who would have thought?
It's Wes Craven. He's a genius.
I agree. He is a genius. He had a very specific wheelhouse. And by that I mean whenever he stepped outside of that wheelhouse, usually went right in the crap.
Yeah.
You take a movie like...
you can get pretty hokey.
People Under the Stairs. All right. All right there, Wes. That didn't work out the way you wanted. What you need in a Wes Craven movie is high school kids, possibly in love, murders taking place, some kind of a bad boy red herring that we're going to blame this on, and then usually we sprinkle in some outlandish characters. We have Stu and, what was his name? Billy?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. And that was like, okay, so if we're going to go down this rabbit hole, Wes Craven basically set the precedence with Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
Unfortunately, he lost the rights to it, came back for Nightmare on Elm Street 3, basically tried to redo...
Fix.
So from there, he basically tried to restart a new franchise with Shocker, but that didn't really work out. It didn't get the box office numbers. But then he comes back in 1996 with Scream, and this time it does work.
Boom.
Boom, boom, boom. Unfortunately, I think...
The sequels.
All right, I don't know. I mean, don't get me started on 6 and 7, but I think Scream 3 was the worst. Scream 3 was complete poop, dude. It was poop. All right, enough about that. My number 1, you ask? A little film I know you both have seen called Insidious.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Now, here's what I dig about that. It's very subdued, and you know you're going into a haunted house movie. So that initial opening of the black and white as the camera slowly pans through the house, and you just see these little things happening. The chandelier moves slightly. You come around the corner, and then that picture just kind of kinks to the side. It's there, but it's not really... It's not obscene. It's not absurd or in your face. It's just these slight little...
Nudges.
Nuances of something is not right in this house. You know, and that goes on for probably about 4 minutes.
Yeah.
I really like that. I like the music behind it, not the Tiny Tim song. Yeah. But because at this point in the movie, we're not there yet.
No.
We're still in the opening sequence. I really like that. After that point, I'm not a huge Insidious guy because to me it feels very much like a Poltergeist remake.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, the crux of the plot is the same.
An old lady.
Old lady comes to save the day.
And I'm actually kind of okay with that. I liked it.
I would say if I had to pick...
It's better than Poltergeist.
I would agree.
Yes.
100%. 110%.
Carol Ann!
Oh, that annoys the shit out of me. That annoys... And I would rather go into the further than go into the fucking nonsensical toy vortex that's happening in the guest room. That's ridiculous, dude.
Right.
Into the light.
Horse skeleton coming down the stairs.
Well, why
What
not?
the fuck does that have to do with it? Where did that come from?
Right.
All right, I know everybody loves Poltergeist, and I apologize up front.
It freaked me out when I was a kid.
I love Poltergeist.
If you ask me, the best part of that movie, the chairs.
The chairs,
in the beginning.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's about as creepy as it gets. All right, that's our 3 on a meat hook, inmates. We would love to know what your top 3 horror opening scenes are. Let us know. The mental health hotline, of course, is area code 775-387-0275. Or just go to Padded Room Podcast, hit the email link, and let us know there. In the meantime, gentlemen, it's Terradome time.
Yeah.
No tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
I'm not gonna hurt you. You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in. I'm gonna bash them right the fuck in. I'll kill you all. I'll drive you crazy. I'll kill you all. My worst dream come true.
6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face, with blackish eyes, the devil's eyes.
Welcome to the Terradome.
Let's start things off with last week's winner. In singles competition, we had Dracula versus Art the Clown. The carnival had come to an end, tents in ruin and bodies all around. As the sun rose over the Carpathian, silence fell once again. The body of the clown lay exsanguinated and shriveled. The vampire prince would hunt again. With a vote of 7-2, Dracula wins over Art the Clown.
7-2?
7-2. Nobody took Art the Clown in this year's tournament. Alan had Dracula. So, I think that has a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why nobody's taking it. I think we need to see Terrifier 3 before anybody jumps on the Art the Clown.
We still don't know what he is.
I mean, he came out of the ground, so he's at least a zombie, right? He came out of that well in the fucking hole in the ground, whatever that thing was.
Man,
I just want to see more of that.
So much unknown about him.
See more of that young lady that was in the
Verna
Lavera, whatever her name was, in the Angel Wonder Woman situation. Have you seen Terrifier, Chuck?
I have not.
Oh my gosh!
Get out!
Yeah,
expelled. You're expelled from the padded room.
Yeah,
turn it in my card.
Yeah, give it to me.
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
You can't come back next week until you watch that.
No, not until he watches at least Terrifier 1.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this week's matchup, shall we? We are in the Inferno Conference Round 7. As usual, inmates, bear with me. I am not much of a writer. And I also have pneumonia. The recent murders in Tromaville had to be stopped. The TV PD were befuddled. No clues, no forensics, no nothing. It was as if the victims had been murdered by the air itself. Melvin had already done a good job of rounding up the local riffraff, but to no avail. His size, putrid appearance, and unpleasing odor generally upsetted and intimidated the local criminal element. But this time, nobody knew anything about anything. Deep in the Pine Barrens, Dr. Jack Griffin plans his next attack. The killing was easy, but it brought him no closer to the ultimate goal, finding a cure for his own invisibility. Not reaching a normal human life was slowly driving him mad. The madness was taking him farther and farther from the cure. The only peace he could find now was in killing. Singles competition, we have the Invisible Man versus the Toxic Avenger. That was a bit of a reach. I understand.
Yeah.
I like Toxie. I don't know. I mean, he's good at beating up thugs and crime bosses and stuff like that. I don't know how he figures out the Invisible Man, though.
A little hard to find.
His girlfriend is blind. So maybe she could sniff him out or something. I don't know. I got to go with the Invisible Man on this one, dudes. I don't know what to tell you. What do you think, buddy?
I am going to go for the Toxic Avenger.
Okay, that's fair. Chuck?
I'm going with the Invisible Man.
Attaboy. That's 2 for the Invisible Man, 1 for the Toxic Avenger. Let us know by next weekend, mates. Again, mental health hotline is area code 775-387-0275, or the mental health that was the mental health hotline. Get us on the email at thepaddedroompodcast.com. Hit the mail link and let us know what you think there. Or just click the Terror Dome tab, and you can vote that way too. It's just that easy, you fucking assholes. In the meantime, we got to tell you what movies we got to watch this week in a little segment called What Are You Looking At?
What are you looking at?
You guys want to know what I'm looking at?
What you looking at?
The only thing I'm looking at all week long. It's
my butt.
Other than Chuck's butt. It's an NFL flag playbook because I've got 2, not 1, but 2 teams in the championships this week, gentlemen. My daughter Daphne and her Cincinnati Bengals are in the flag Super Bowl and for 6U, 6 and under. And my son Deacon and his Houston Texans are also in the 10U flag Super Bowl. So basically that's all I'm doing, is studying the playbook. Both teams we're playing are teams that we've already beat, but I think that's going to give them an edge because now they know how we look and what kind of plays we like to run. So I got to have some tricks up my sleeve. And that's all I'm looking at, gentlemen. Buddy, what do you got?
All I got is Twister.
The original? Or
the original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, get ready for the new
Twisters?
One. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, get ready for this one. I'm like, you know what? I better rewatch the old one.
Okay. I don't understand the hate for Bill Paxton. For some reason...
I am not a Bill Paxton fan,
how could
but
you,
I do like him.
Whoa! What? Hey, stop! Right there.
Weird Science.
Yeah, I like him in this movie.
Chet.
Yeah.
Chet,
Took
yeah.
me a minute.
Yes.
Yeah, I like him.
Shit.
That's right. I like him in this movie. I like him in Weird Science. That's about it.
Dude.
His voice is annoying to me. I can't stand the character.
God rest his soul.
I get the voice thing. He's got a very kind of
nasally.
Probably sounds like mine.
No.
It's got like a little nasally
Bill Paxton
to it.
had all his teeth, Chuck.
Well, at one point I did as well.
He is the only man in human history to be killed by the Predator, the Alien, and the Terminator.
That's true.
Shit.
It is true.
You can go fuck yourself. Lance Henriksen almost pulled it off, but instead he got killed by the Alien twice.
Right.
Instead of if he would have got killed by the Predator in AVP, then he could have done it, but no.
Yeah. Yeah, not a fan of the other guy in Twister also.
There was another guy?
In that movie Twister that's also not with us anymore.
The blonde guy.
The blonde guy. Oh, man, what's his name?
He plays Dusty in the movie. I can't think of his goddamn name.
His name is... Okay, hold on. I got it.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of his acting either.
I'll tell you what I am a fan of. Universal Studios has a Twister ride.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cows flying around your face.
We got cows.
You're thinking of a dude by the name of Dusty? There's Carrie Elwes. Was it?
No.
No? Okay. Was it... it wasn't... Phillips. It was Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
You're not a fan of Philip Seymour?
Not a fan of him either.
Get the fuck out of here! And you don't come back to my house ever.
How dare you?
How can you not be a fan of Philip
I
Seymour
don't know.
Hoffman?
It's the same thing. I'm just not a fan.
54?
He coined the phrase sharding.
Yeah, he did.
How dare you, sir? How dare you? God damn it.
But God rest his
Nights.
soul, you know.
Oh, God.
That's what I was thinking of, not Studio 54.
Yeah, Boogie Nights, dude.
Yeah, Boogie Nights.
All right, well, Twister's fun. It's a good show.
Yeah, it is.
I never... so Irma Gersh, who's a listener to our show, is actually a storm chaser. And
I'm jealous.
He broke it down for us. It has a lot more to do with like evacuating places, clearing debris. You don't really need any kind of credentials to do. You just it's basically a volunteer thing.
Yeah.
But
you don't actually chase the tornado, though?
Well,
you do.
Like drive right into it. Hey, I'm going to go right to it.
But if you see a house in rubble, you kind of got to check to see if there's somebody that you can pull out of it.
And if you can, like, if they're tracking where it's going, then you can get out in front of it and kind of get people the fuck out of the way and stuff like that.
I think drones have really changed that game.
I would imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the thing I never understood about Twister. What are all the
those little ball things?
Yeah,
they're supposed to.
They're prehistoric drones.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, they're alien.
Yeah, it's supposed to sense like the wind pressure and all that weird shit.
Okay, but
in
it's
there.
not going to do anything. It's not going to stop the fucking tornado.
No.
So why? Who gives a shit? It's a
They're
tornado.
trying to figure out how they form and where and when, because they still don't know that.
Okay, well, let's
I don't
focus
think
on
they'll ever know that.
calming it down, and then let's go. Then we can worry about where it came from.
Yeah, throw dynamite in it. I think it'll take care of it.
That's what I say. Shoot it.
AR-15.
Shoot it.
I'd use a garden hose and just spray it.
I'll have this thing wrapped up by noon.
That's right.
I'm gonna knock this fucker down.
It's going right. I'm going to spray left. There, I'll slow it down.
That's right. I'll be right next to you with a fire extinguisher. I'm going to save the neighbors.
That's right. It went around me. I must have been scared.
Put my goggles on.
That's right.
You guys are stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, Chuck, you get to watch anything this week, amigo?
You know what I've been checking out? I've been rewatching Bates Motel.
Okay.
And,
nice.
In conjunction, also, rewatching Psycho.
The Psycho movie, sure.
So, yeah.
The original?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Psycho's really good. I will say Psycho 2, criminally underrated, in my opinion.
Really?
I'll have to revisit that
Psycho 3, you get a little weird. But Psycho 2 I thought was really good. I will say this about the Gus Van Sant remake. I mean, it's a shot-for-shot remake. It bombed horrifically at the box office. A lot of people will tell you that it's just the worst thing ever. But I will say this. Vince Vaughn is Norman Bates.
Oh,
Beautiful.
man.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Did a great job.
I agree with that
just
one.
Creepy, awkward. When he pops out with the dress and the wig, it's like, okay. But leading up to that, he does a great job of just being that awkward dude at the office. You know what I'm saying? The guy that's always there and nobody wants to talk to. And you see him coming down the hall, so you quick duck into a janitor's closet or something. Just to fucking, pretend I'm not here. I'm not here. Keep going, Jeff. I don't want to talk to you.
Right.
You know? Yeah. Other than that, I thought it was great. Psycho 3 and 4. Bah.
Yeah.
Vera Farmiga as mom.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
There is a movie where she gets naked. I've seen it.
What?
Can I tell you the name?
Please,
no.
please.
She's addicted to cocaine and she works at a supermarket.
Don't care.
That's all I can tell you about it. But she does take her top off.
I mean, I can look her up.
All right, yeah, it's in there somewhere. All right, inmates, that's what we're looking at. How about a little immersion therapy, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Immersion therapy.
What you guys think of Penance Lane?
Not a bad film.
I remembered liking it a lot more the first time I saw it. Watching it now is kind of silly. I think my biggest gripe about the whole thing was that the inside of the house looked very much like a haunted attraction.
Right.
Like some jack-off was going to jump out and scare you at
any
point.
time.
And that's exactly what happened. There was a jack-off in a weird outfit that jumped out and scared
I've got kind of two outlooks on it. It was fun. I liked it. And anything that pays middling ex-wrestlers in their elder ages.
We got a double scoop
I'm
of
cool
that.
with.
Okay.
But it was... I don't even know how to...
It felt very gratuitous to me. It felt like it was...
A little bit.
A movie that was made by horror fans for horror fans. Now, that doesn't necessarily make it good. I think
it kind of felt like a cheap man's He Never Dies.
Sure, I can see that. Yeah.
I liked how I didn't know what the hell was going on at the beginning. Like, we were talking about opening scenes.
That was my problem with it.
So the opening scenes, you think it's almost like, was this extraterrestrial? Is this like some type of, I don't know, supernatural element?
Yeah.
And then when it's not,
the reveal
kind of took it from me.
Yeah. But the beginning was like, whoa, what the hell? I mean, it really captured like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
Because you hear like growling in the background and stuff like that. But
and let's be honest, I love Booker T, but he's not an actor.
No.
And I
neither is Dallas Page.
I mean, Diamond Dallas Page at least has been in like some Rob Zombie movies, but he basically plays Diamond Dallas Page in different outfits.
Yeah.
Booker T trying to be like this ex-con thug.
Is he not?
I mean, not. I can't not see.
I know he's not
Booker T. When I look at him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least when I see Diamond Dallas Page, I say, okay, here's
same guy.
He's white trash. He's funky. He looks like the guy that would be in The Devil's Rejects.
Right.
Lifting weights in his front yard, having 3 teeth, and getting yelled at by William Forsythe. I don't know, man. It's it felt very. It felt like the director was a horror fan, which he was.
Right.
And he just tried to mishmash too many things into one horror movie.
Yeah.
You got your what could be a haunted house. You got your ex-con, and then we bring in human trafficking or organ trafficking, and then we bring in, and then he just basically went to Rob Zombie's leftover bin and got Scout Taylor Compton,
Mad Max,
Taylor Made Mad Max. Who else? Daniel Roebuck. Basically anybody that was in a Rob Zombie movie ever and was like, I can pay you half if you come over here, so they all went over there. Tyler Mane was Rob Zombie's Michael Myers.
Mm-hmm.
He was also Sabretooth from the first X-Men movie.
Right.
He's a big son of a gun, but
Mm-hmm.
he should just stick to being a big son of a gun in a mask and with some claws and stuff, because I don't know.
I didn't hate it, but
I didn't hate it either. It just I would say it's good for a first time watch.
Yes,
and it was mine.
Watching it a second time,
me too.
I probably wouldn't.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Not for a second time. No.
Yeah. Right on, dude. What do you got for us this week, buddy?
All right, this week let's check out 2023's Walden. This is about Walden Dean, that's an assuming court stenographer in a small southern town. When he discovers he is dying, he decides to exact revenge on criminals who escaped their prosecution.
Ooh.
Yeah, and you'll find this gem on Amazon Prime.
Check that shit out, inmates. We'll do the same and compare notes next week. Right about now, though, it is time to educate me.
Educating Miss Monica.
First, my clues from last week. I am a single dad, and that sucks because I lost my wife in a house fire, and now my kids are traumatized, and I've hired somebody to help. Though she doesn't really help, she just eats my food and complains about everything, and I don't know what the fuck I'm paying her for. That's the bad news. The good news is that my estranged uncle just passed away and left us a fortune and a huge palatial estate out in the woods. It's great. Unfortunately, this house comes with a few secrets and mechanisms and added bonuses and experiments and souvenirs, I guess I should say. Who might I be, you ask? I am, of course, 13 Ghosts from 2000.
Great movie.
3, I believe. Remake. The remake is way better than the original.
Yes, by far.
Original's fine, but it's it's William Castle, which of course kind of became morphed into Dark Castle. William Castle was the guy that did all the gimmicky movies, where like giant insects would swoop down in the movie theater while you were doing that, while you were watching the movie, freak you right out. Or during the Tingler, he would electrify the seats and give you a little buzz.
I wish they would do that shit still.
I know.
That would be so cool.
It would be cool.
Yeah, I could take a little jolt to the butt.
We know you could, Chuck. Who might I be this week, you ask? Well, gentlemen, I am a model / aspiring actress in early 1980s Soho, New York. I am also addicted to heroin and possibly cocaine, and I'm living with my drug dealer, which usually doesn't work out well. That's unfortunate, but the good news is that a UFO just landed on top of the building and is basically killing everybody that has sex with me and extracting heroin-laden brain juice from them as... I guess it needs like a combination of orgasm and heroin, and it's using me as a vaginal farm, I guess, for victims. That sucks. But the good news is that the bodies immediately disappear, so I basically get to walk away scot-free. I would kind of like to go with the UFOs, except that the UFO is only about the size of a dinner plate. So there's that.
That does sound like a great time, though.
It's very 1980s, and there was a lot of 80s imagery and music, and if you watch this movie, doesn't make a lot of sense. In fact, if I
have no idea what you're talking about right now.
If I hadn't read the synopsis, I probably wouldn't have garnered any of that from actually watching the movie myself. But there's that. Who might I be, you ask? Tune in next week, and I will drop some knowledge on the inmates. In the meantime, I think that's all about there is for this week. You guys got anything else on the week?
No.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Welcome, Chuck.
Come join us again anytime, Chuck. You're welcome here in the padded room. That's also going to close out Possession Month. We're rolling right into Demon Month. Join us next week for The Black Coat's Daughter in Demon Month. Rolling all throughout the month of August. Like, comment, subscribe, of course, wherever you found this podcast. That helps our visibility quite a bit. Reach out, dude. Why don't you give us a call? Area code 775-387-0275. Don't worry about the Terradome. Don't worry about immersion therapy. Let us know what you think of our recent haircuts and wardrobe stylings. Or, you know what? Just go to paddedroompodcast.com. Fucking Tony is still on there. And he still has that one picture of me.
Yeah.
And he's doing some terrible things with it on Photoshop.
Yep.
I actually appreciate the effort, Tony.
Yes, we do.
The one with the hot dogs.
The hot dog is
I
the
think
funny
is
one.
still my favorite.
Yeah.
I just wish you would get an updated picture of me because I'm like 300 pounds in that. All right, whatever. Yeah, other than that, I think that's about it for Chuck, Buddy, Jason Harrell, wherever he might be in absentia, the rest of the Padded Room crew, ghost ships, and fucking loose cables, and the damage they can do. God damn it.
MILFs and GILFs.
MILFs. Not so much with the GILFs. Let's cut it off at the just MILFs, maybe not so much on the GILFs.
We'll consider it.
I mean, we'll take it on a case-by-case basis. Horror movie openings, obscene phone calls, zombies. Watch out for those bathtubs, especially on the back of the head. They can do a lot of damage also. And the Padded Room Podcast. I'm afraid visiting hours are over.
Bye, and have a great week.
Good night.
I saw 50 Cent making a sweater. I said G-Unit.